This song is... Ah. Good morning. Morning. Did you get some sleep? No, I was just spacing out. I couldn't sleep at all. I'd actually be more surprised if you could, given what happened. I know, right? Oh yeah, are you hungry? I made a light breakfast using the stuff I found in your kitchen. Sorry for not asking you first. Thanks, Douryou, I'll eat it. No problem. Sorry this is all I can do. But at least I can help in a small way. I eat brunch together with the Douryou. I've been in very bad shape due to a combination of lack of sleep and fatigue. Even chewing this food is a chore for me, but I manage for Douryou. And lastly, I may force myself to gulp down some coffee. Douryou stayed in the guest room last night. I figured things would turn out bad if she wasn't at her dorm in the morning. When I asked her about it, she said she had already received permission to stay out by lying that one of her relatives had collapsed. It's a lie that only someone who had the trust of the dorm manager would be able to get away with. By the way, yesterday you said you found an old book in the clock tower. What happened to that book? Oh. I pick up the old book that's been sitting on my desk. It's just an ordinary book written in ordinary black letters. There are no signs of the word kill in bright red text like I saw yesterday. Must have been another one of the Departed's illusions just for me. Can you read it? I can skim through it, but it'll be hard for me to fully understand without time and research. But it's related to the Departed, so we've got no choice but to read it, right? Shall we try our best to decipher it? My grades in classic literature are pretty good. I'm confident I can be of some help. Let's give it a shot, then. Douryou and I put our heads together and try to make some sense of the old book. However, my addled and wearied mind is unable to focus, and I don't feel like I'm making much progress. I bet Douryou is feeling the same. She almost dozes off in her seat. Despite our less than stellar efforts, we managed to learn some new things. In the past, M-Town apparently used to worship two gods. The first was Lord Mushigami, who is mentioned in local lore, and the other was Lord Kabigami. Furthermore, M-Town had a special wedding ceremony tied to those two gods. And the name of that ceremony was The Departed's Marriage.
7章死人の嫁入り
Chapter 7, The Departed's Wedding. I look at the clock and realize it's already evening. Out of the blue, my phone rings. Pangs of guilt hit me, and I hesitate to pick up the phone. Maybe it's the police, who knows, maybe Michiho's body was found and the cops received a report. Someone might have seen us together when we were heading to M-Town's shop. Are you not going to pick it up? No, I will. I have no choice but to face the music. Hello? It's me, Kono. Come to the school immediately. I'll brook no disagreement. That's an order from your client. Konoe's strong words are matched by an unusually strong assertive tone of voice. Sure thing. It's quite sudden, though. Can you at least tell me what's so important? I believe you must already have an idea. It's about Kinukawa. I can feel my heart pounding loudly. Kinukawa. I'd like to hear the details directly from you. I'll be waiting here. Make it quick. Mr. Light, you look really pale. The headmaster wants to talk about Michiho with me. What? You're kidding. But how? Her corpse should have disappeared. I'll be going to Konoehara Academy. Then I'll also... You stay here, Douryou. The situation will only get worse if you show up at school when you're supposed to be staying at your ill relative's place today. Understood. Be very careful, Mr. Light. I drag my exhausted body to the garage. Shit, what should I do? Maybe I fooled Douryou, but the moment Mr. Kono said the name Kinukawa, my body's been trembling. Calm your ass down, hero. You don't know what's gonna happen. Keep your head in the game. I slide in the car and take another deep breath, and then I slowly turn the ignition key. The chime rings when I arrive at Konehara Academy. Seems like I arrived just as class ended. The school looks the same as always, with no cops or media in sight, which means her corpse hasn't been found yet. Why does Mr. Kono want to talk to me about Michiho, then? What was that? With classes having just ended, students begin to exit the new building. However, everyone looks exhausted. I don't feel any of the usual joy that you expect from students at the end of the school day. But more disturbing than that, strange-looking apparitions are roaming around the school. Nobody has noticed their presence, though. I doubt they can even see them. The number of apparitions I count is roughly equal to the number of students. It's not just one or two. And the apparitions all look the same, like a spirit with giant insectoid legs and human face. The spirits are simply clinging to the students without doing anything, though I have a feeling that they must be the reason the students look so pale and lethargic. I can understand that they're being possessed by these spirits, but why is it happening now all of a sudden? Somehow I managed to restrain myself from making any surprised noises. Attracting attention here will only make me look suspicious. First of all, I need to get an idea of what the situation is. What in the world? All the students and teachers I passed on my way to the infirmary, every single one of them had a spirit clinging to their back. Wait, is it the same for me too? I walk toward the wash basin in the corner of the infirmary, and when I look into the mirror, there are no spirits clinging to my back. I'm the only one who doesn't have one. Is this also the departed's doing? What should I do? My mind becomes a swirling miasma of confused thoughts and muddled emotions. Even if I were to try and explain the situation to them, I'm the only one who can see these spirits, so nobody would ever believe me. Shit. Shit! This is bad. I'm completely out of ideas. But staying here is pointless. I should make a move. Mr. Kono is waiting for me in the faculty room. May as well get this over with. There's no one in the infirmary. Huh. Forgot all about this. So will more items come up for grabs, or how's that going to work? When I enter the faculty room, Mr. Kono is already there with an exhausted look on his face. There's a spirit clinging to his back, though he doesn't seem to notice it either. You finally arrived. Let's get on with it already. My body's feeling even more leaden than it was yesterday. I do recall that he mentioned feeling worn down yesterday as well. If this fatigue is being caused by these vengeful spirits, that means he may have already been possessed back then. Does the fact that I can see these spirits mean that the departed is getting even stronger? What's wrong? You seem like you're not quite looking at me. No, nothing. There are things he's better off not knowing. I'll just keep this quiet and not alarm him any more than I need to. So, what's this about Kinukawa? Right. She left the dorm yesterday and hasn't returned. Do you happen to know anything about that? Well, I've got no idea what happened to her. After the promise I made with Douryou, this is the only way I can possibly respond. Alright. Just remember, if you cause some sort of incident, it will reflect poorly upon me as well, since I'm the one who hired you. But this is a matter of the student's safety we're talking about here. If you're hiding something from me, I won't forgive you. Okay. Should I be honest with him since it involves Michiho's safety? Even if I was, though, it's too late already. Telling him won't help anyone's safety. If you truly don't know anything about it, then we'll handle it from here. I suppose we should contact her family. These types of situations are frankly a struggle without Sakamoto around to handle them. Is Miss Sakamoto not here today? Yes, and she didn't even call in. It's very unlike her. I wouldn't say anything if she just weren't feeling well. Everyone falls ill sometimes. But her absence has been troubling me since I found this thing on my desk. Here, read it. He hands me 5 sheets of paper bundled together with a paper clip. Looks like a write-up to me. As soon as I read the first page, I groan. This is basically a formalized complaint against Hero Light, the temporary teacher. The paper is a laundry list of reasons why I'm unfit to be a teacher at this hallowed institution. And to no one's surprise, my unnatural close relationship with 2 members of the student council is primary concern. Who cares about all that? Read the last page. What's this now? The 5th page is different from the others. The other page is written with a stern, diligent hand, but this page is inked with sloppy, disconcerted handwriting. The voice keeps ringing in my mind. They keep calling, and they don't stop. I will soon die. There's only one way to save my life. Go to the small room deep in the darkness. Goodness, at long last. Fox, Mushigami, Kabigami. What the hell is this? Mushigami and Kabigami. It's the names of the 2 gods mentioned in the old M-Town book. This can't be a coincidence. How could Sakamoto have written this? A voice echoing in their head, guiding them a step closer to death. It reminds me of something. That's right, Izumi said something similar before he died. But it's too late now. I messed up. The departed hates me. I keep hearing a voice saying, die, die, die in my head. I've got no fucking time left. I don't want to die. I'll definitely kill Hanako at the music room. Perhaps. Sakamoto is also being targeted by the departed. But why would Sakamoto? Why, you're asking? Don't you even realize it? You keep asking why, always why. Isn't it your entire job to investigate that? It's because of your slowness and incompetence that we have these mounting casualties. Mr. Kono raises his voice and glowers at me. Such a normally mild-mannered person lashing out that much. Is this because of the curse, or is he just that stressed? People's lives are at stake here. We've had students perish already. Don't use your unprofessionalism as an excuse. Results are all that matter. It's entirely your fault that things have turned out this way. Have I made myself clear, Light? What's the point of apologizing here? Mr. Kono lets out a sigh and his shoulders droop. My grandfather founded this school. I must protect it. I've been working so hard to do that, my heart feels like it's breaking now. Mr. Konoe. The only thing I desire now is your report telling me that this case has been resolved. I don't want to fritter away any more time having this conversation. You are dismissed, Light. The school will be closing shortly. All students, please promptly vacate the school grounds for today. As much as I want to inspect the clock tower, the door is locked in the evening. I'll wait in the infirmary until the sun sets. No one there. I go back to the infirmary and wait until nightfall. It's time to head out. Will the door to the clock tower be open? A knock. Who's here at this hour? Mr. Light. Douryou enters the room, a spirit clinging to her back. That wasn't there back at Kujo Mansion. Did it appear when she came to Konohara Academy, or is it because of the time? More mysteries are piling up and none of them are being solved. Why are you here, Douryou? I snuck in since I thought you'd be the only one here at this time. I'm a real delinquent now. Why did you come here? You're going to go to the clock tower, right? I'll tag along. No, I can't let you. I'm not going to have a repeat of what happened to Michiho. I didn't ask for your permission. I'm tagging along whether you like it or not. This incident isn't just about you, it's also affecting me. Douryou. We're going to the clock tower, right? Yeah, but there's something I need to check first. How are you feeling, Douryou? My body feels somewhat heavy. Maybe it's from lack of sleep? But it's fine, I can go. I'll make sure I won't hold you back. Fine, don't push yourself too hard, though. Let's keep quiet about the vengeful spirit. It's not like we can do anything about it anyway. Crap, I forgot to look at the trade thing. We'll be back there later. What's wrong, Douryou? Oh no. Being here reminds me of Michiho. I was being insensitive. I'm sorry. No, it's all the departed's fault. Let's just continue with the investigation. There is no need to stay here any longer. Let's go inspect somewhere else. Now we'll find the insect book and also a reminder of Michiho, or how's that going to work? It's been a while since I last came here. I came to this place a lot during my first year before I joined Student Council. Do you like books, Douryou? Yes, I used to read a lot whenever I had free time. I don't really have any other hobbies. That's why I'm jealous of Michiho. She always has something she's obsessed with. Thank goodness the teachers aren't here. I skipped school today. It'd be bad news if someone sees me. Is that your main concern? Isn't it a bigger problem that you snuck onto school grounds at night? Oh yeah, you have a point. Since I've been coming to school at night so often, I totally forgot that was an issue. There's no need to stay here. So she actually does have the mark on the side of her face. I wasn't sure if they're gonna be lazy and mirror her or use some other trick. If it wasn't for the notice, Michiho would go to the clock tower. Notices for students are posted on the bulletin board. The whole school feels like it's suffocating recently. Everyone's scared of the departed, I can feel it. So that whole thing was a bust. The light illuminating the ground is reflecting off something. I bend over and pick it up. It's an eerie tooth. Massive statue of the guardian fox stands here. Its dark orange gives one the impression that it's been here for quite some time. Okay, the pause there made me think that there was going to be one of their little scares, but turns out it was just a longer loading screen. But that's one of the clues that it's coming, and then the controller does vibrate slightly before it... There you go. Slightly before it appears, warning you that it's coming. For a sec there I thought they'd actually let me go to the forest. So I find myself here once again. A clock tower with a clock that has stopped moving. Inside this tower, Michiho is... Let's go, Mr. Light. Yeah. The door's half opened. That means we can go inside. Makes it feel like this is the Departed's work. Are you sure about this, Douryou? I can hear the sounds of Douryou trying to steal herself. What's going through her mind right now? Tension, or is it fear? In any case, her gaze is fixed forward. I'm ready. Alright, let's go. There's no trace of Michiho's corpse in the clock tower. There's nothing left on the floor. There's neither traces of blood nor the giant insects. Mr. Light? I knew it, the Departed disposed of her corpse. I guess so, yeah. Michiho. Stumbling on her feet, Douryou walks toward the area where Michiho collapsed. She then turns around to me and begins to speak. Michiho was the best friend I ever had. She might have seemed selfish to you, but she was actually a really caring person. Even when she decided to be the student council vice president, she only did it to help me out. She didn't even really want to be a student council member. Were you two friends for a long time? Yes, we were friends even before we entered kindergarten. Our parents are close. Both of us are only children, so we became friends quickly. Because both of us wanted to have siblings, we often played sisters. I'd play the stubborn, fussy older sister, while she'd be the sloppy yet kind younger sister. She continues rambling until her voice gradually fades. I bet even Douryou herself has no idea what she's saying right now. It's not the time for action. It's time to just be there for her and listen. I nod silently. I shared everything with Michiho. My hobbies, future dreams, the troubles I hid from other people, even my crush. Listen to me, Mr. Light. Michiho loved you. What? Did you realize her feelings? Vaguely. I knew it. She's usually pretty direct when it comes to showing her feelings. It's only been a few weeks since we first met. Time is irrelevant. It's all about the event that made her fall for you. What event? Didn't you compliment her hair before? She believed it was fate that there was someone who could see our curse other than the two of us. But I'm a teacher and she's a student. So you think that's weird? Yeah, it's not very common. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. 5 years ago at this school, there was a tragic love story between a teacher and his students. She must be referring to Rei Kashima and Sosuke Hirose from the art club. She probably heard it from Michiho. Love can bloom regardless of your situation. It doesn't matter whether the love is accepted or not. Love, huh? I might be insensitive at times, but I think I understand the kind of love Douryou is talking about. It's a feeling young girls often consider precious. However, I am an adult and a teacher, albeit a temporary one. Though they might think they have adult feelings, Michiho and Douryou are children at the end of the day. It's my responsibility to keep them that way. I can't accept those feelings, Douryou. Is that so? I'm relieved to hear that. You're still the same as ever. A teacher who harbors romantic feelings for their student is the worst. Douryou gives me a mischievous smile. Was this some kind of a test? It's not like I want you to accept her feelings. I just want you to recognize Michiho's love. I think that's what she'd want, too. Douryou. Her love remained a bud until the end. It never had a chance to bloom. But now that you finally realize her feelings, I believe maybe her soul can rest a bit easier. Thank you, Mr. Light. What are we going to do now? Find out who the departed is, obviously. In order to do that, we need to decipher the old book we found here. So let's go back to the infirmary. I'm sure we can decipher it if we both give it our best. It's not like we have a choice anyway. However, even with both of us, it'll take some time to decipher the content of the book. I wish there was a better way to do this. Cabinet full of old books. There used to be a board blocking the door. I didn't have time to check it before. Let's give it a look now. I open the door and inspect the other spots besides the upper shelf where the old books are stored. Everything is basically junk, like a moldy mirror, a white mask, and some worm-eaten fabric. If only they'd been preserved properly, they might be valuable antiques. I find a familiar item among the junk. It's an eerie tooth. A mannequin without limbs. Has it always been clothed? By the way, Douryou, you said you and Michiho saw an altar where the doll was placed in the clock tower, right? But I don't see an altar anywhere. Yes, I'm surprised myself. There was definitely an altar when we came here. This is strange. Were they hallucinating or something? I don't think that's the case, because the altar was also mentioned in the school newspaper. It's absurd to think they were all hallucinating. In that case, it may have been something caused by the departed. No one knows which is the real clock tower. The clock tower we're in now or the one you saw before with the altar.
Yoshi.
A large wooden box. I use the item inside here, too. They have the verb tense wrong there. Mr. Light? You have to focus on your investigation or else we'll fail. Yeah, I know. There's a small item lying in the corner of the box. I pick it up with my hand. It's an eerie tooth.
Yoshi, いけそうだ.
So I'm guessing... I haven't really been keeping track to see, like, is it a fixed amount of EXP you get per tooth? But with there being... what is it? 5 or 6 more? I don't remember the exact number. It's gonna be 5 more. I guess we can hit level 9. So I'm just gonna jump to the infirmary and say it was the trip. Hey, Light. A familiar voice greets me when I enter the infirmary. So you're actually here, huh? Credit where credit is due, you were right, Hag. You can always trust my intuition. Mashita, Yasuoka. I called Kujo Mansion, but no one answered. I got worried, Light. You really caused us trouble. I can see spirits on their backs, too. Are these spirits attaching themselves to everyone who enters school grounds, not just those who attend Konohara Academy? Judging by the awful look on your face, something must have happened. Spill it, now. About that. Don't do that, Mr. Light. If you tell them, you'll... You must be Douryou, the student council president. Please trust us. Light is our friend. We won't betray him. Light is already a jumbled pile of misdemeanors. Trespassing, theft, traffic violations, some more theft. Can't count them all on my fingers. I'm not gonna be surprised by anything that comes out of his damn mouth, so stop wasting my time and spit it out already. Fine, I'll talk. I want to bring an end to this case no matter what it costs me, and I need your help. I tell them everything that happened last night, and I don't hide a single thing. The Departed's Wrath, the old book we found at the clock tower, the fact that I killed a Michiho, Douryou helping me out, and the spirits I've been seeing on everyone since this morning. You must be kidding me. To think you'd kill someone. Don't blame him for that. He was controlled by the Departed. Insanity or not, murder is still murder. Article 199, a person who kills another person is punished by the death penalty, or life imprisonment, or for a definite term of no less than 5 years. I'd slap the cuffs on you myself if I had him with me. I can see that. Let me just say one thing. The law only applies if the victim is human. What do you mean by that? Come on, stop playing dumb. You know damn well what I mean. There's a definite chance Michiho Kinukawa was the Departed. What are you going on about now? There's no way Michiho was... You think there's no way? She's pretty suspicious to me. Doesn't her unnatural attachment and affection for you remind you of the Departed? Please stop. How dare you talk about her love like that? You better watch your mouth too, Himeko Douryou. You're also a suspect. Both of you have something in common with the way you approach light. Enough! You're being so cruel! Douryou glares at Mashita, her shoulders trembling. She's going to lunge at him at any moment now. Calm down, Douryou. I'll deal with him. Understood. Light, here's my suggestion for you. Investigate Michiho Kinukawa. Determine whether or not she really was the Departed. But Michiho is already... Even if her corpse is gone, the evidence remains. Search her room. You might find clues about the Departed there. Where did she live? The dormitory near the school. She's in the same dorm as you, right? Yes. It's a good thing we have someone who knows about the dorm with us. Will you help us out? Mr. Light, are you telling me you suspect Michiho? I don't know. But that's exactly why we need to confirm it. Understood. I'll cooperate since I believe she's innocent. Thanks, Douryou. Hey, Light. You mentioned seeing vengeful spirits. Yes, in fact, there's also one on your back. Guess this must be why I've been feeling weird ever since yesterday. I wonder if the reason only you can see them is because you're the Departed's groom. What are they, anyway? The embodiment of the Departed's curse, most likely. Might be a result of their transformation, like the red lights in the school. Perhaps they all look the same because they were born from the same curse. It's not totally impossible, though the fact that the spirits are part human, part insect, definitely raises some questions. Considering one of the Japanese characters composed of the name Lord Mushigami means insect, I wonder if there's a connection. The deities of M-Town and the Departed. They really might be connected in some way. What will happen if we just let them be? I don't know for certain, but I have a prediction. Those who are possessed by spirits will grow progressively weaker before they eventually die. I've witnessed it several times. No way, so everyone will die at this rate. Is there anything we can do to avoid it? Considering the number of the spirits, performing an exorcism is out of the question. Our only hope is to exterminate the leader of the spirits, the Departed. They're the cause of this disaster. Once they're gone, everything will go back to normal. Things have gone from worse to horrible at blazing speed. The damage has spread. But our mission remains unchanged. There's something I'd like to ask you, Yasuoka. I take the old book from my bag. Can you help us decipher this book? It's a book about M-Town, a formerly inhabited area near here. Maybe you can also tell us something about the Departed. Can you read it? You're really well versed in these sorts of things. Sure, I'll do my best. I'll try to decipher as much of the book as I can until you all return. Shall we head over to the student dormitory? It's just across from the bus stop in front of the school. I hope Kinukawa is not the Departed. You believe in her, right, Light? That reminds me, I brought new sacred objects. Yep. Five remain.
いってらっしゃい。
Can we get something from Machida? Yep. Let's investigate Michiho Kunokawa's true identity. I don't care if she's innocent or not, I just want to know the truth. So we're still in the opening. What a fine historical gate. Konehara Academy is written on the nameplate. I wanted to graduate with Michiho. We can get her stuffed. You still can. There's no need for me to take the bus now. There's a bench with paint peeling on every corner. I even see some crushed bugs on the seat. I wish they cleaned this place. What's that? Douryou seems to have noticed something. There's something on the ground near the bench. I pick it up. It's an eerie tooth. So, thinking about it for a brief moment, I probably would have been better off getting the rate improvement, because some of the odds of these things just suck. We go along the road and finally reach the dorm. But the front door is locked. Not surprising given that's already past curfew. The back door might be open. The door manager's a bit sloppy sometimes. She often forgets to lock the door. Douryou was right. The back door is open. See, I told you. We'll be in trouble if we get caught. Let's hurry. Fortunately for us, the dorm entrance is empty when we get there. Thank goodness the manager isn't here. I thought she'd stay behind with Michiho's disappearance and all. Looks like she went home at her regular time. What a loyal employee. Shall we look for the key to Michiho's room? The manager has a duplicate, so we'll be fine as long as we find that. I want to check out the ficus. There are stairs, though all that lies ahead is darkness. This building has an elevator. Better make use of it. A row of mailboxes. Based off of the number of mailboxes I see, the student dormitory is quite big. There's an elevator in front of me. It's not a very big one. Probably can only fit 4 or 5 people tops. Michiho's room is on the 4th floor, but we're going to need to find the duplicate key to her room. This is the administration office where the door manager works. The key should be around here. Please wait a minute, I'll take a look. Douryou enters the administration room. I'm the only one in the entrance now. This is bad. If a student happens to come in at this moment, I'm not going to have any good explanation. Not only did I barge in here without permission, but this is a female dormitory. There's no justification for me being here. Come on, get back here soon. My impatience is starting to grow. But then Douryou appears, granting my wish. In her hand is a key with a label attached. Found it. This is the key to Michiho's room. So it was that easy to find, huh? This dorm sure is unsafe. Easy access to keys, and the back door isn't even locked. The key was in a sturdy case with a combination lock. I only know the combination because Michiho told me. Why did Michiho know it? She snooped on the manager once when she was entering in and memorized it. She didn't intend to do anything bad with it, though. Probably. Goodness. This should get us into Michiho's room. Her room is on the 4th floor. Let's take the elevator. Once we arrive on the 4th floor, I let Douryou lead us down the hallway. We come to a stop in front of the door with the number 402 on it. This is Michiho's room. It's a shame she's not in 404 because the jokes write themselves, you know? The moment Douryou opens the door, I duck into the room. I turn on the light to reveal the whole room. Is this a single room? I only see one bed here. I just sort of assumed you'd be sharing a room since it's a student dormitory. It's not really common, but yes, all the rooms here are single rooms. Well, now that I know this room only has a single occupant, that means that anything I see here is a reflection of Michiho's personality. This doesn't look like a room that a terrifying spirit like the departed would live in. I'm going to see what I can find, just wait here. I shall leave the investigating to you. A mattress sits atop a typical pipe bed frame, and there's a stuffed frog doll sitting by the pillow. She only has a light blanket on the bed. Does she not get cold at night? There's a frog-shaped board hanging on the wall. I find 2 notes on it. One is a note about raising a frog, and the other is about her summer vacation plans. August 8th, school day. Go to Clock Tower with Hime. That must have been the day when she and Douryou discovered the female doll in the clock tower.
Yoshi.
There's a thin layer of dust on the desk, along with a notebook. Froggy Log 3 is written on the cover. As the title suggests, the notebook is all about a frog it seems she was caring for. I see a lot of enthusiastic praise inside. Things like OMG so cute or true beauty. There are also some cute drawings that convey her affection toward her pet amphibian. But with no dates mentioned in the entries, it's hard to guess when she wrote these. Other than that, there are a lot of notes about her frog's food. She fed it either crickets, flies, or earthworms, trying to learn what the frog liked the most. Furthermore, she happily noted how the frog would eat insects.
Yoshi.
A calendar with a frog drawing is hanging on the wall. It's already October, but the calendar's remained on August. There's a large poster of a loving frog mom and her frog child. It's a small refrigerator for a single person. There's a few bottles of soda inside. She won't need those anymore. Help yourself, dude. Her dresser is most likely filled with clothing. There's a stuffed frog doll on top. Should I check her drawers too, just in case? I hesitate a bit, but I realize there are bigger issues than decorum at play here. Inside the drawers are Michiho's casual clothes. These clothes reveal that she didn't appear to care overly much about fashion, and some of the clothes are very similar to one another. I also inspect the backs just to be sure, but I don't find anything hidden on them. The clothes or the drawers. When I close the drawer, something falls down to the ground. It's an eerie tooth. Moe said lost souls are often seen in places near spiritual disorders. So why is this thing here, then? It's rather curious to find it here, though it's too early to use this as evidence against Michiho. Even if the storm is cursed, we can't just assume that Michiho is the cause of it. Okay, stop to get a drink. Looks like there's just one last thing to inspect. Aside from the small frog decorations, there's also a plastic fish tank on the shelf. Inside the tank is a dead frog. Because it died on top of a dry stone, its body is completely shriveled up. It's bone dry. Bring the little one. Frog drives away. Bugs. A whimper suddenly invades my mind. This isn't the first time I've experienced this. A strange voice is speaking to me. Bring the little one. Frog drives away. Bugs. Are they telling me to bring this dead frog somewhere? For what reason, I wonder to myself. But the voice in my head never gives me an answer. Sitting here and waiting for an answer will get me nowhere. What I need to do is make a decision. And I've always chosen to follow the guidance of the spirits whisper. Who knows, maybe this frog has some kind of spiritual power. Let's go, Kermit. That concludes my inspection. This music is just not fitting. Did you learn anything, Mr. Light? Yeah, a lot. Just what did you learn? The owner of this room loves frogs. The stuffed dolls, fish tank, and the poster. This place is stuffed to the gills with frogs. But frogs actually have lungs. It's only in the tadpole phase they have gills. That seems like something quite important. Mr. Light, why would that be important? How do I say it? It's hard to explain, but I just kind of feel it. Alright. Judged by the way she's staring at me, I don't think she's very convinced. The Michiho I know loves bugs, but the owner of this room clearly loves frogs. Additionally, from what she wrote in her notebook, she only considers bugs to be food for her frog. That's a pretty drastic change in personality, don't you think? Well, true, but she's always been a fickle person. Her preferences change every once in a while. Last year she was really into video games, before that she was obsessed with puzzles. So honestly, it doesn't seem all that weird. Answer me, Douryou. When did Michiho start liking bugs? It was around the end of August when our summer break ended. There's no sign of life in this room. There's a layer of dust on the desk, and she neglected the frog she'd been raising. Furthermore, the calendar's on August, almost as if time stopped here. But Michiho came back here every day. She might have returned here, but I honestly doubt that she spent her time here as a human. Oh my god. Time in this room stopped in August, the same time as her dramatic change in preferences. That can't be coincidence in my book. Something must have happened to Michiho around that time. She turned into a different person after that point. But is person even the right word here? Mr. Light, are you saying that this room hasn't changed in a long time, and Michiho suddenly changed her interest because she'd become the departed? That's right. You must be joking. Michiho's the departed. It can't be. Douryou protests frantically. I understand her feelings, I truly do. If Michiho really had changed since the end of August, that means when we first met at school that night she was already... For the entire time I've known Michiho, she was the departed. The departed is a spirit. Spirit's already dead. Putting it that way, the Michiho from that time. Mr. Light? If the Michiho we know recently was the departed, what about the real Michiho? It's not hard to imagine. The departed replaced the real Michiho. Both of them wouldn't have been able to exist at the same time, so... I'm sure she was killed months ago. This can't be real. Our business here is done. We've learned what we wanted to know. Or rather, we learned what we didn't want to know. Ever since leaving the dorm, Doryou's had a blank look on her face. I can't blame her. She's just lost her best friend a second time. I bet she's got no tears left to cry at this point. You okay? Yes. A short, hollow response. She looks so pale I'm worried that she might just collapse. Let's head back to the infirmary. We need to share this information with the others. So they will let us jump. I just want to see if any of the dialogue here has changed. Okay. We can check the bulletin boards on both sides of the door before we actually go all the way in.
これは よし
The thing is, since we got 3 teeth from the area with the fox, it's kind of worth investigating the areas again Just gonna poke in here, see if there's anything different. Okay, infirmary it is. Mashita and Yasuoka are waiting for me. I better report our findings with them.
あら、いらっしゃい。
Three to go.
さあ、いってらっしゃい。
You're finally here. What'd you find? I tell them the information I learned from the student dormitory. Knew it. Michiho Kunukawa is the departed. And now the whole murder in the clock tower is also cleared up. That was just another one of the departed's tricks. Kunukawa manipulated you into thinking you killed her. Why did she do that? Probably to destroy your mind with fear. She wanted to drive you insane. Maybe you being insane is one of the departed's marriage requirements. You're thinking like an insane bride deserves an insane groom. It makes some sense. Killing a student who's in love with you, that certainly would be something that could drive a person mad. My mind would have been shattered had Douryou not shown up that day. Say, Douryou, is the whole avenge Michiho for me promise I made with you still intact? Yes. This doesn't change the fact that the departed still harmed Michiho. Alright, I'll do my best then. Light, there's something I'd like to tell you. I've deciphered the book you gave me. Appreciate it. This book details an ancient M-Town ritual. Allow me to give you the gist. I jot down what Yasuoka says in my notebook. Summary of the old M-Town book. In the past, severe famine devastated M-Town. Residents of the town believed the fury of their deities, Mushigami and Kabigami, were the cause of the tragedy. Hence, shrines were built to worship the deities. Mushigami Shrine was located in downtown, while Kabigami Shrine was built in the Fox Forest. Mushigami Shrine and Kabigami Shrine are merely halls of worship for the two deities. One an insect deity, the latter a mold deity. The main shrine to both, Mushikabi, is located elsewhere. Mushikabi Shrine is located deep in the Fox Forest off the road. Only relatives of the priest and Fox, the messenger, know how to get to the shrine. So real quick, in case you're wondering about the whole insect and mold thing, why people worship them, they're seen as symbols of rebirth. Basically, you have either like a dead carcass that spawns the maggots, which become the flies to symbolize rebirth, or spores turning into mold, which is basically the kinda, sorta plant equivalent, even though there is a difference between a fungus and a plant. It's just, for a lot of sciences, they group plants and fungi together just for simplicity's sake. So that's the significance of their two names, or symbols, I should say. The departed's wedding was held when a great famine occurred in M-Town. Held to wish for the end of the famine, this is also a sacred wedding ceremony where the matched brides and grooms exchange vows before the two deities. This ritual was last held during the Meiji era, about 100 years ago. It's said the selected brides and grooms completed the ceremony at Mushikabi Shrine, and the great famine in M-Town finally came to an end. Because it is a holy ritual, the selection criteria for the brides and grooms is quite stringent. The grooms must be from the priest's family and have impeccable spiritual qualities. As for the brides, they must be pure maidens that come from a decent family. Furthermore, both of them have to be exceptional in all aspects, including their intelligence, lineage, and personality. Hence, the chosen brides and grooms are said to be blessed and are the envy of the town. After she's done explaining the contents of the book, I'm left speechless. Deities named for bugs and mold. The departed's wedding, the bride and the groom, and the selection. There are so many things in this book that overlap with the departed's actions and remarks. This book is definitely our way to find out the departed's true identity. Agreed. Feels like we finally managed to get a real look at the departed's history. But Yasuoka halts her words, pondering. If there's something on your mind, just say it out loud, Yasuoka. Do you not find this strange? If the wedding ritual is a blessed event like the book said, how could the departed have been born? She has a point. Based on my previous interactions with spirits, they're birthed from grudges. This book probably only covers the sanitized version of the truth. If there's another part shrouded in the darkest abhorrence, that's the part you'll need to uncover. We already inspected Mushigami Shrine in the corridor, and Kabagami Shrine is in the forest during our encounter with Mr. Kokiri. However, we didn't find any clues about the departed. The last one is the Mushikabi Shrine, then. There must be something of note there. Mushikabi Shrine is located in the depths of the Fox Forest. We don't have time to explore the whole forest. Then our only choice is to ask the fox how to get there. Yasuoka is referring to the fox, the messenger of the gods mentioned in the book. There's a fox in the storage area of the science room, though it doesn't look like a messenger to me. I'm going to need to find another fox. Now that we have some direction, we can finally start the investigation. By the way, is Hiro not coming tonight? Yeah, I didn't contact her. I made that call. This is above her pay grade now. The departed has transformed and grown stronger. They are more dangerous than before. So it seemed prudent not to get Hiro and the other people involved any further. That applies to you guys, too. Don't get me wrong, I really appreciate your help. I just don't understand why you're willing to risk so much to help me. Like Yasuoka said, the departed has transformed and acknowledged me as their husband. This is on another level than helping me deal with the spirits and the notices. I have no idea what will happen next. And yet they've decided to jump into the hellhole alongside me. Where does that determination of theirs come from? This is my job. I believe it is my fate to save those who are terrorized by the wrath of the spirits. I've only lived this long because my purpose in the world of the living has not yet been completed. This is my job, too. Because this old bag here asked me to in a more literal sense because I actually get paid to do it. The pay is worth the risk. Simple, straightforward answers. This is why I place my faith in them. A strong faith that can't be described in words. The simple ways they lead their lives makes me feel like I can trust them with mine. Thank you. Let's head out if we're done chatting. Yeah, let's go. Wait a minute, Mr. Light. Can I come with you? I generally like to pass the buck for this type of thing, but you need to stay and guard the base. No. The forest is going to be dangerous. Stay put here, Douryou. But you look awfully pale, Douryou. If you collapse, you'll only make things more difficult for Light. Let's both wait here, alright? Understood. Douryou nods reluctantly at Yasuoka's insistence. Please be very careful, Mr. Light. Let's bring an end to this stupid game, Light. Okay, pass me the paper bag. Should also mention we have not seen Bon in this game. If you don't remember Bon, he's the homeless dude. He was part of the Kanon soldier case, the 5th case of the first game. Like all the other victims, Michiho's corpse disappeared from inside the clock tower. I asked Mashita and Yasuoka to help me out. Mashita suspects Michiho might be the departed given their similarities. I need to investigate to see whether or not this theory is true. We needed information about Michiho to determine whether or not she was the departed. Upon inspecting her room, I learned she used to like frogs instead of bugs. Douryou told me she changed around the end of August. I bet that's when the departed killed Michiho and began masquerading as her. The book Yasuoka deciphered has information about a ritual called the Departed's Wedding in M-Town in the village deities. Mushigami and Kabigami. Bugs and mold played a big role. Mushikabi Shrine, where the ritual took place, is located deep in Fox Forest. We need to find a way into the main shrine.